Welcome to Bearkat Chat. I'm your host, Sierra Ray, and today we're talking to Kelsey Messer. Kelsey is a Sam Houston alum and currently working on her master's degree. She's also a full-time staff member with the Department of Residence Life. Welcome, Kelsey, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about your Bearkat journey.
Let's do it.
What originally led you to choose SHSU as your undergrad school, and what was your major?
So originally, I came here with a chemistry degree.
I didn't know that.
Yes. I started as chemistry, and then I got kind of further along, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. So I switched over to criminal justice with a chemistry minor. And the first time I stepped on Sam Houston campus, I just knew, like, this was where I wanted to be. It didn't help that my husband was, or boyfriend at the time, husband now, was also coming along for a criminal justice major as well.
So what are your favorite memories or traditions from when you and your now husband were here?
Yeah. I loved Battle of the Piney Woods games. We loved that tradition, the Fire Fest that led up to it, the whole week, just that rivalry and that, competition that Sam had against SFA. And then I was actually stat girl for the lacrosse team, the men's lacrosse team, and team manager. So I got to travel with them.
Ooh.
And we went to nationals a few times. And so we got to go out of the state. We went to Colorado, South Carolina, things like that. So those are definitely memories that I loved and will cherish for sure.
So did you and your husband get married after you both had finished Sam?
We got engaged the week of graduations in front of the Sam Houston statue, actually.
Oh, so you have your part of your meet cute, or not your meet cute, but your love story, I guess, starts. It involves Sam.
Yeah. And then he's a state trooper, so then he went off and kind of did the academy, things like that, and then we got married a year after that.
And so I know he just finished his graduate degree.
He did. He got a master's in leadership and criminal justice, and he graduated this past August. And I'm very proud of him because it was a lot of hard work for him to do.
So that leads me to my next question. What is your graduate program that you just started? What do you want to do with it?
Yeah, so when he graduated, I started, so we flip-flopped. I am getting my master's in in communication studies, and I just think every job and every person relationship, everything you do in life has to do with communication. So I figured that's probably a good thing to study, and maybe that'll kind of catapult me into something I didn't realize I wanted to be in.
So how do you balance your working full-time and starting your graduate degree?
Still figuring it out. It's 3 weeks in, but I kind of saw what John did as far as work when the kids go to bed,
Finding that
homework.
work.
Yeah, kind of just find that
balance.
30 minutes you can get some reading done. And my husband is also very supportive of hey, I'm going to take the kids for a couple hours. Y'all knock out homework, do what you got to do, and just kind of get it done. If you want to do it, you can do it. Time is just managing your time the best you can just to balance everything is, it's helpful when you have a team behind you.
Oh, for sure. It takes a village.
Yes.
So what advice would you give other people that are working full-time that want to go back and further their education, maybe to advance in their career? What advice would you give them about what steps to take or what their plan should be and how to prepare for that?
Be ready to work. Just know it's a lot of work. It's worth it in the end, but you'll get as much in the program that you put into it. So if you want to I just want to get a degree, let me just do the bare minimum, well, then that's all you need to put in. But if you really want to get something out of it, then you're going to have to dedicate time to really just say, I want this, I need to invest myself into this. And again, it'll just open opportunities in the future for you and your family, hopefully, that it'll be worth it in the end.
I can relate. I just finishing up my graduate degree as well, and it's been a matter of finding those weekends where some weekends are harder than others, and know that you're going to have to do more and plan the family calendar out a little bit, and finding those evenings in the week when you're going to have to make time for yourself. And it's about making time and scheduling. Okay, well, tonight you're, again, hoping that you have a strong support system, because it's all about finding that balance. And my kids, I know you understand because you have several, it's finding that time between their activities and prioritizing what you want to get done and what's important to you, and showing them that it's important to you that you take time for yourself. It's not all about them all the time.
Right.
Mommy needs time or dad needs time. And I think it's healthy for them to see that you put in the work. Yes, you go to work, but then you come home, and if you want something, you work hard to achieve it. So
yeah,
I think they're probably your biggest cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they saw John go in his office. I said, Daddy's doing homework, and they respected that. And they're like, okay. And even like Kaylee, you know, they would bounce off each other like, shh, we got to be quiet. Daddy's doing homework. So they see that now, and same type of thing. John will say, nope, Mommy's doing homework. So they know exactly what it means, and they respect that.
Well, my preteen and teen are not as cooperative, and they would bust the door open. Are you done yet? We're ready to go. Are you done yet? I'm like, no, you're going without me tonight.
Oh, my 3-year-old still comes in and asks me, hey, can I get a yogurt out of the fridge? And I'm like, isn't your daddy in there?
Yeah, is there no buffer between you and me right now?
Yeah.
You know where they are. But that's great. She still asks. That's good. That's good. Do you have any other pointers for anybody looking to go back to school?
No, I mean, just...
Oh, and also I guess we can speak to your degree. Are you fully online?
Yes.
Or is it
it's a full online program. So, you know, that's also a difference, too. It depends on the program.
Mine was, too, fully online.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of flexibility with doing it all completely online at your own pace.
Yeah.
And having maybe the week to do it and do on the weekend. But it is nice because my classes would drop on Monday morning. They would load the entire week, some of them.
Yeah.
And some of them preload their entire, mine was a 7.5 week. The classes were 7.5 weeks long. And so, except for that one summer class that I did not realize was a 5-week class. That was a lot. But pushed through, got it done. Didn't see my family for about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was come and go. So we just, again, find that time and
you just have to make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because it'll be worth it. And, you know, like you said, your kids will see how hard you work. So they kind of have a role model of like, okay, if I want to achieve something, I got to work hard. It doesn't always come just naturally and freely to me.
And I think they're growing up now where my kids have Chromebooks in the classroom, or they'd have to take them home as well and keep up with them. But almost all of their work, aside from math, is done on the computer. And it's very similar to Blackboard and how you log in and you have your classes loaded. You click on that, and then there's your syllabus. Same thing for them right now, which is wild for junior. One's in 6th grade and one's in 10th, and it's y'all are doing the same structure. No longer are you wrapping your textbooks in brown paper sacks. It's all online
the good
now.
days.
And so it's interesting. We actually had to meet the teacher last night in the classroom, the technology in the classroom, and then being able to, they're already ready for that. So I feel like by the time my kids are in college or graduate school, they're so used to all the online components of finding your syllabus and finding your assignment and is it done? And the grades are all electronic and you log in and it's exactly like graduate school. So I was like, I kind of felt like I was a little prepared for them starting this adventure with the Chromebook and everything being online. So I guess that's the way we're moving.
Yeah. But I mean, you do definitely get something person to person. So hopefully they keep that aspect as they get older too, because it's some students.
It's hard. Some need that.
Yeah. I would say some people don't know how to have a face-to-face conversation, and it's not good. You have to have that interaction for sure.
I felt I had a pretty good experience and a pretty good balance of instructors. Some where they would pop in with a video or they'd have a bio page in the PowerPoint at the beginning of the semester. But then I had others that were very involved and you wanted to be on a call, kind of a FaceTime classroom, a Zoom situation. So every teacher's different, but it's pretty cool to go through the online experience and say,
it is.
oh yeah, I know you. We chatted, we were in class, but we never saw each other. And so I met somebody recently, we were in class together and I was like, oh, you're who I was emailing saying, do you understand what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, like my husband, he went through his whole program with a group of them.
Oh, so
and
like
then,
a cohort? I guess they all stayed.
Kind of. Not everyone had the exact same class at the exact same time, but the night before graduation, we all got dinner with 3 or 4 of them that he met for the first time that day.
In person.
Yeah, in person.
Cool.
So it's cool to like meet them like, oh, hey, like
that's what you look like.
You're
my support system, and I'm finally meeting you in person for the first time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That is really cool. Okay, so we've talked about your undergrad and we've talked about your graduate school that you're doing right now. So you're also a staff member in the Department of Residence Life, which is where we met.
Yes, it is.
Which is how I came to know Kelsey. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about that department and a little bit about your role there. So just about Sam Houston, and we call them residence halls, not dormitories, because it's a whole experience. What kind of rooms do we have on campus, and how many residence halls are there? I know there's private and semi-private rooms. Can you kind of break it down into the buildings?
Yeah, so we have 14 halls, and we have 3 apartment styles. So those are the ones that are kind of different. They are included in the 14, but they're different as far as how they run, how they look. Just kind of, they are apartments. I mean, we bought 2 of the old apartments that are here in Huntsville and took them over
That's
to
wild.
make them residence halls. And then the other ones are kind of, we have private rooms where it's, you know, you have your own room, but you share a living space. Semi-private where it's all open, but maybe like a half wall or a wall in between. And then we have ones that are just open and you share the whole room with your roommate. And that's where, actually, when I was an undergrad, that's what I had, was a open room.
Is the residence hall you stayed in?
Yeah, I lived in Belvin.
Still here?
Yeah, I lived in Belvin.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know how I knew that. Yeah, I know there's a lot of different places that have changed. Like White Hall is still here, but there are some that are not.
Yeah, and there's some that are brand new and some that are old. But yeah, it's awesome.
So what are some of the most common misconceptions that these incoming freshmen have about living on campus?
So some of them that we've seen is maybe that you would be best friends with your roommate after this. You may, you know, it may just be a person that you kind of get along with, live with, and then move on from. Or it could be your best friend. Like you could meet your best friend as your roommate or a suite mate, because we have a lot of those too that share bathrooms. And then another one that we saw quite a bit recently was you don't have to bring your whole room when you come to campus.
That's the big
I
one.
promise you can't fit it all in there, even though you think you
try.
can. Oh, they are.
They're going to try.
And their dads and
It's gonna-
moms are
dad,
not
mom,
happy
help carry
that
it
they
all.
have to bring it up and then bring it back
then they
down.
have to take it back home if it didn't fit. I guess that's the hard part. What you think might fit, and I know when I worked there, we'd get calls like, "How big? How big of the curtain panels do I need to buy?"
Yes.
Really, just wait till you're there.
Yeah.
Wait till you're there to see how much room you actually have. Before.
Oh yeah, they wanted
And some people go
measurements and all that.
Out.
Oh yeah.
I know that one year we had a student who like had an interior decorator for a mom, and it was still to this day. It was in Raven. And it was amazing. I was like, can she come to my house?
Right.
Like, how much did she charge? This is incredible. And you're like, you're supposed to kind of be roughing it a little. You're supposed to be out here making it on your own.
Oh, there's some rooms that look real nice that don't look like a dorm room sometimes.
And I've seen on Pinterest, people go all out now. It's a whole... They pre-planned for years. My daughter, for a while, had a Pinterest board. She thought when she was going to go to Sam, and she still will, hopefully. But she had her vision board and this was when she was junior high. But what do I want in my dorm room? Same kind of thing. LED light with her name on it, like all this decorative stuff, which I'm sure her style will change by the time she graduates and gets there. Yeah. But yeah, she loves to come on to the Facebook page or when we have events and see all the different rooms that are decorated. It's like, this is how they're really doing it.
And there's a range of them.
What do you want these incoming freshmen to know about living on campus?
This is where you build your community. I mean, you may meet some of your best friends. We met really good friends that you just would never meet if you're not living on campus, you know, and we have programs in the halls that support the community. People think like, oh, I'm just going to meet my roommate or suite mate. Well, no, not if you get out and get to know each other, and your RAs will help like kind of facilitate like, oh, you're from Sugarland. I know someone else from Sugarland, you know, that type of thing. So really just get involved within your hall.
And there's a lot of programs that these halls do, whether it's like volleyball tournaments, the ones that are closer to the volleyball courts by the rec. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I know I've been to several of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over all the programming stuff.
That's right.
So, like,
you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so a lot of them do like the paint, like the Canva painting type things. We had one that was like build your own Legos, and they got just a bunch of Legos. We have Halloween. They love a good Halloween party. You know, they do where it's basically like awareness of drunk driving, and we have like the drunk goggles, and they do things like that. So, I mean, there's all sorts of range of programs that they can go to.
And right away, I know the first week of school that y'all do the Party in the Pit event, and that's a pretty big deal. The DJ comes in.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe I know somebody close by that actually was in a band that played at a Party in the Pit event.
Oh, nice. We do Party in the Pit during Bearkat Kickoff Week, just to kind of like meet people that you may not meet again within your halls, but like it's still like, oh, you may have classes with them, or you may have the same major. So it's just a time to get out there and just have a good time and mingle and have fun.
And you get a free T-shirt.
You do get a free T-shirt and ice cream and water and a good DJ.
So another question about residence life. So staff members like RAs and hall directors, how do they support their students?
So they're pretty much 24/7. I mean, if you need your RA or if you need a staff member, we try to make sure everyone is available for your safety and for your comfort. We, have people on call. They're the ones that put on the programs. I'm over the programs, but they think of them. So the RAs think of what was my residence like and how do we execute that so we can get a lot of people. I mean, one time we had a whole RA team make a escape room. in one of the multi-purpose rooms. Yeah, it was really cool. But they were like, I think they would enjoy this. And that was our highest program of the year. So, I mean, the RAs are there for support of the residents. And then the hall directors are there to support the RAs because the RAs are also students and residents. So we just try to be there for them if there's ever a crisis, like get to know your RA because your RA is a very good resource of things.
What kind of opportunities do students have to work within residence halls? And you said RAs.
Yeah, resident advisors, the RAs that live in the halls. And then we also have, for residence life, we have the housing ambassadors, which I know you worked with a lot.
And they're the ones that you initially come and you want to see what a residence hall looks like. And depending on the time of the day or the event, they'll be the ones that give you the tour of the different halls and answer all the questions. So if a student is nervous about moving into the residence halls, what advice would you give them to help them feel more at home and welcome?
Again, it's getting out and meeting people because, like, to me, that's a big thing. There's some people that are like, no, I don't want to, like, leave my room. I'm comfortable here. Well, if you're, like, missing home or need that human interaction, even if it's not within the halls, there's so many events on campus that they have in the LSC, just things like that, just to have fun and get to know people.
And speaking of the LSC, there's some resources in there. I say resources, but activities, more like the bowling alley. I know they do events where they turn one of the ballrooms into like a skate rink. So there's always events happening on campus. So
the rec center has stuff too.
And the rock climbing wall.
Yeah, the intramural teams. I think anyone can sign up for those types of things. But like my husband knew no one going on the lacrosse team, but he knew he loved playing lacrosse. So he was like, I'm going to do it. And he met some of his really good friends on that team.
Well, now they have esports. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to get out of the room and meet people who have common interests or who are involved in stuff that, like, I know when they welcome students at orientation, the president's always do things you don't normally do. If you're go to a football game, if you're not used to going to football games,
get out of your comfort zone.
Go listen to some event or speaker that you might not normally listen to, and just getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things. And sometimes that means taking a class. It might not fit within your path, but it might lead you to something you didn't know you were very excited to learn about, some new direction it might take you in your career. So,
and that's what I tell RAs when they're planning programs, like try not to focus on like 20 people, even though that may work for those 20 people. Try to expand it to try new things for those 20 people, and maybe they've never tried, I'll just say like painting on a canvas, things like that. So get out, try new things, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to go back to that, but at least you tried it. And I don't know, I think college is the time to try those new things, because after that, you gotta.
And I feel like, speaking about job opportunities on campus, we talked about residence halls, but there's so many student employment opportunities that they can get involved in working at. We even have food restaurants in the LSC. So
I mean, I worked at the bookstore when I worked.
Oh, did you?
I worked at the bookstore, and then after, my husband was an RA.
Oh, okay.
So he was an RA for 2 years, and then after that, he worked at the visitor center. So, I mean, we got involved as well.
And that's you have to be very personable, because that's the first stop for people coming to campus is the visitor center, and they want to do a tour. Well, we took some surveys back when we were working in a different marketing department, and we talked to a lot of current students about their experience when they came and they visited campus, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to talk to adults. We want to talk to current students, and we want to get, for sure, what's the tea? What's this really like? How do you like it here? And I feel like that's so important, is to have current students on campus as resources for new incoming freshmen, and kind of partner with them or see them and go, okay, I think I can do this, or I have someone to talk to, or and also that makes me think of like counseling resources. There's so many different things on campus that you don't initially think of all the available resources when you get there. So I think that's important to know what's available for everybody.
It is, it is. It makes your overall experience better. I mean, if you're
away from home for the first time, and it's scary.
Right. It is. And it's comforting knowing that you have those resources, so get to know what they are.
Well, thank you for chatting with us today and sharing your Bearkat story. And thank you for listening to Bearkat Chat. Until next time, eat 'em up, cats.